going on, everybody? Welcome to HiBruiNation, the your Boston Bruins. I'm Goosey, joined by always with the Chavo and Mr. Hattrick himself, Mr. Jack. Then, we got a good episode for you guys tonight. We're actually going to talk about some injury updates, the state of the team as per usual, Geeky on a bender, a little bit of the schedules, and we might even give a little bit of a movie review and some insights on what goes on in the HiBruiNation group chat on the stuff that you guys don't see, obviously, off air. And it all starts right now. Guys, what a week. How are we feeling? What are we doing? Are we in delusion? Talk to me.
I don't read Pasternak. Pasternak reads me.
Subtle nod.
Subtle nod for that.
Really,
no, it's clearly a much better week than where we left off.
Smiles are up.
Yeah, we're here. I'm not living in delusion land, but it feels a lot better.
Hands being degenerate on screen. It looks like. I don't know. We're not gonna say what just happened for the audio listeners, but I'm
getting my medicine.
You need a lot of medicine,
I totally didn't get medicine before this or earlier. Okay.
Don't worry, folks. He doesn't inhale.
Calms you down. Nope. It's quitters, man. Quitters. We're at 500 hockey, fellas, to start November.
It took till November, but we're there.
Clean slate, baby. Clean slate. Fucking slate. Oh man. I mean, I'll rope the November 1st game somewhat, against Carolina, into that October fold, just because it's that transitionary day or two, that first couple days in the month, 1 or 2 days.
Day. Yeah.
Listen. I'm on it today, dude. I practice.
We're on it with each other now. We're poking there.
The boys are buzzing.
On it. The boys are buzzing. 14 points. I think we're actually tied for a wild card spot in the East, which is kind of crazy because from the first wild card spot, actually technically the third spot in the Atlantic is only 3 points ahead of the bottom spot in the East. So the points guys are stupid tight again for the second year in a row. And the Boston Bruins
showing for the East as well how tight it can be.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. And but we're right there again, just like last year. Bruins go 3-1 this week.
We're actually now tied with the Rangers for a wild card, I must say. Actually, there's a lot of from the Metro to the East, a 14-point teams tied. But so we're there. But
Metro ain't as strong as Atlantic, though.
Yes.
But we'll see how it plays out in November.
I don't know, guys. I got to tell you, there's parity, right? I like it. I think there's more parity in the East than there is in the West, because if you just look at goal differential between the two conferences, guys, holy smokes. All the teams that are out of the playoffs, massive negative goal differentials, minus 10, 8, 6.
Yeah.
They're huge, comparatively speaking. So it does say something to the competitiveness of the Eastern Conference, I think, as a whole. Because I think, honestly, in the West,
the last place Buffalo Sabres in the East are a -1 right now. If we go to the West, Calgary Flames, that was tough for me to say, is a -18. And then the Blues, -17, -10, San Jose Sharks. So, yeah, there's a difference in the points right there, at least in the differentials that are more broad than I thought they would be.
I think that entire sentence was just hard for you to get out, buddy. That was just.
I'm warming up still. The chops are warming up.
He's warming up. Boys are buzzing.
Yeah.
He medicated too much beforehand. No, guys, good hockey. It was good hockey outside for the one loss. Good hockey. Good to see the boys actually fight and finish. Obviously the Bruins have that tough loss against Ottawa. Then they go and they take care of business with the Islanders, the Sabres. Sabres game had me a little worried, I'm not going to lie.
Very exciting finish, regardless.
Oh, absolutely. And we could talk about how that game finished too. A wonderful overtime goal by Marat Husnudinov, who got I believe it was just his first of the season, not his first as a Bruin. And then, we get the surprising win against Carolina, a playoff team. I mean, obviously, I believe
Actual playoff team.
Yep, an actual team that you will say that will definitely see them in the playoffs.
Missing their top 3 defensemen, which is noted, but it's still a really good team, regardless.
You still got to win those games, right? If you think about it, when you're down like that, you still got to play as hard as you can, and the people that get called up or to fill in those slots, they're definitely big shoes to fill, but you're a professional. You got to play those games. You got to play those games hard, man. And it's try to solidify your spot on the roster if you can ever get one. Yeah. I mean, look at last year, right, when the Bruins were down. Hampus Lindholm and Charlie Mack. Those guys had to step up. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you never know. Sometimes hidden gems can be found.
Yep.
Steve's just drinking his Coke right there, chilling. He's getting ramped up. He's about to go on the tear here.
Caffeinated, baby.
Tear here. Yeah.
All the way possible.
Caffeinated. That's your medicine.
Yeah.
It's your medicine, dude.
No,
it's good.
It's good for you.
Obviously, guys, out of all of us here, it was 4 games this past week. And, 2 out of the 3 of us here, the 2 being Jack and myself, we had the Bruins going 3-1 in the actual opposite direction of the way it actually went. And then Steve had them going 2-2. Steve, good call on Ottawa. I was actually surprised.
I wasn't. Listen, the points are there. They're a fringe team. They made a playoff push there and they kind of got embarrassed. And there's talent on that team. And quite frankly, I just think that not a lot of credit is being thrown their way. But, yeah, I mean, I just didn't see them winning it, to be honest with you. And, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. And I didn't see them losing that bad, though, right? That was the kind of caveat to it. If they lost by 2 goals, yeah, sure. But they lost by 5 and they pumped you for 7. So that's not the direction that I thought they would lose. I thought it'd be a little bit closer than that for sure. But I did see an L on that one. But I mean, reality check here, boys. It with me. We're bear down, no delusions.
No delusional Boston fan over here. Only logical.
Oh, I'm living in that delusion though. How'd you guys feel? I was fully. You're good. I was fully expecting, the Swayman Ullmark matchup, and then they put in. I believe it was Forsberg, Anton Forsberg. I believe he was in the net.
Backup, yeah.
It was the backup. Yeah. And
I'm not surprised.
I thought that was a little. You're right. Maybe not, but they'll definitely face off against each other at some point this season. They're divisional rivals, so you'll see. We got a couple more games against Ottawa. How you lost to Anton Forsberg, mind you, he's played great for Ottawa, but oh my God, losing 7-2 was nuts. That was just such an embarrassment. Yeah. Steve, Jack, I don't know how you feel about it, but actually, Jack, you know how I feel about it. But Steve, you were rimming Swayman, dude. On that Ottawa loss, and
that's a little bit graphic, I'd say.
I was reaming him because we talked about this before. Listen, I can handle losing games by 2 goals, right? I can handle losing that. But the fact of the matter is you get pumped for 7. I thought we were over that, those nightmares from last year. And I was fully expecting that this team, if you're going to lose with a little bit of dignity, right? Not by 5 and letting 7 up. And, listen, we had that conversation off screen through our group chat, but it was, there's some blame on Swayman there. And there's some blame on the defense. And, I just thought Swayman was kind of done hearing Boston media talk shit about him after, losing games 7-2, 8-3, and all those things. So I just kind of expected more from him to kind of not let that happen again, Yeah.
I feel like it was one of his bad outliers for sure, but we haven't, seen many of these happen. That Ducks loss was pretty bad, and then regarding this as well, but I think it was one of the bad outliers of this week for sure.
Yep.
But I mean, he's responded well since and given us some good games. So, As long as that's not a pattern of last year, then I think that's considered an improvement.
Agreed.
So
And
hopefully.
also to the point, I want to make it clear that Swayman has kept us in games that we shouldn't have won throughout the season.
Totally.
It's just I'm expecting more from my $8+ million goalie a year, especially with the shit that we dealt with last year.
Yeah,
it's
and
just
that comes with a price tag, so
it
you
does.
want to expect it. You want to expect it. So so far, it's been better. But
Yep.
He snapped back. He snapped back for sure.
I mean,
and just seeing that score just go up slowly at the start of
I think he did that. I think he did that great.
Oh, you hear me, Cam?
Yeah, I think he did it great though. If you look like his response game. Yeah, sorry. Was I lagging? I apologize.
No, it's it's okay. We might for a second. We were talking over
think,
each other, so I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. It's gonna happen every once in a while. So we're here, we're vibing. There's so much good stuff to talk about. So it's like everyone's got to get it. Like we all got to get in there. We're in there. But I thought his response against Carolina was really good. I mean, we're just breaking it down, but it was a 2-1 win against Carolina, where that one goal looked like there should have been there was a missed trip, definitely. I believe. I went back, I looked at him, like, yeah, the refs. They missed that one, but it's a 2-1 game. You just hope that they didn't, Carolina didn't tie it. I thought it was good response by Sway. Sway stood on his head, and a couple times, especially on, I believe it was there was a penalty kill, and I can't remember who was left right out in front of Swayman, but it was unchallenged, and Swayman made the big stop. The Ottawa game, you're right, guys. I believe I'm with you, and with that price tag comes expectations. I chopped up, and you guys brought it up perfectly, like that loss, and this is somewhat in defense of Swayman, similar to Anaheim, like you guys said, because I don't think a lot of those goals were Swayman's fault. A lot of it was on the team defense, but also you just hope sometimes that maybe he could make one of those extra spectacular saves, right? That just kind of maybe gets the bench going, and everyone's there, and it's like, all right, guys, we need to wake the fuck up, and he's keeping us in it. It was just one of those games where I think everyone just collapsed.
Yep.
Definitely.
It was top to bottom collapse failure. I mean, the offense couldn't get anything going. The defense sure as shit couldn't get anything going. And, so I feel like at times Swayman kind of just gave up a little bit because he's like, look what the fuck's around me. You know what I mean? Like nobody's doing their job and pulling their weight. And, that's not what you need out of your goalie. You know what I mean? You're the last line of defense, and sometimes you need to make a spectacular, miraculous save to get the blood flowing again and be like, okay, he's doing what he needs to do. Let's fucking get our heads out of our ass and get it going. You know what I mean? Show some more fight.
Now, Ottawa's loss was the first of the week. It was on a Monday. We kind of talked about it last week during the pod too, as we were doing live updates. So we were espresso depresso. It was definitely hard to find a good way to talk about it. But after the Ottawa loss, Hampus Lindholm returns against, I believe, the Islanders were the next matchup on Wednesday for his first game back in a while. Happy to see him skated, and the Bruins win that game 4-3 in OT. No, I'm sorry, not 4-3 in OT. I apologize. I'm blinking.
5-2.
5-2.
5-2, buddy.
Yep, 4-3.
I had the
4-3 in OT was Buffalo.
Yep.
What did you guys feel about? Well, two things. First of all, Corpy got both starts. I was kind of surprised at that, I believe. So it was kind of a little bit of a shock. And I think Monday and Thursday, I believe you got those two starts, if I'm not mistaken. How'd you guys feel about that? Did you feel like that was kind of like Marco Sturm giving a bit of a wake up call to Swayman? We'll touch this last topic on Swayman and Korpisalo and their play, and then we'll actually move on to Hampus Lindholm, because you can clearly tell he was a huge impact. Did you guys think that Sturm kind of playing Corpy in those two scenarios was kind of a wake up call for Swayman?
I guess necessarily, I think good coaching on his behalf and managing his goalies, and I think it helped get Swayman ready, to play the Hurricanes. And I think it was just, a way you could deploy both your guys, when you have a setup like this and then lean towards, a better game on the better back half of a schedule maybe. But I mean, I think Corpy played great. And, if you get that consistently this season, that's, really solid for your back end of a goalie or backup goalie. So it's sort of what I feel.
A couple points that I want to bring up. Back to the you're surprised that the backup goalie for Ottawa was starting against the Bruins. I wasn't surprised. I knew that they had a back-to-back the next day as well.
That's true. They did, yeah. So they were gonna, they wanted Ullmark to rest.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we didn't have a back-to-back, but they did, so they wanted Ullmark to rest.
They did, yes, yeah.
To rely on that. So that makes sense to me. But coming off of the loss to Ottawa, the game was Monday. We played Tuesday. It's not a surprise to me that Korpisalo got the start on that one. You normally, if there's back-to-backs, they alternate goalies, right? That's kind of just good coaching, and we've seen that across.
You are right, Steve. Sorry, I made a mistake earlier. It was Tuesday, Thursday. So I apologize. Korpisalo did not play 2 nights in a row. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, I wasn't surprised that he played the second half of the back-to-back, right? That's just good coaching on Sturms, and that's kind of like the league standard right now. For the Thursday game, I don't know if it was necessarily a wake-up call. It was more of like, hey, you've been good for us this year. That was a bad loss. Take your time. Get your head right. We need you for Saturday. We need you again.
Because, we have the opponents that come with bigger notion. And
exactly.
It's this isn't a tougher opponent that we've faced so far as for the Bruins, right?
It's probably one of the toughest that we've played so far.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to that game. We've touched a little bit on it, but they played great. Like I was anyone you both can attest while that game, I was very excitedly texting in the group chat at some points and things I was saying is it was just great to see. And then remembering that the defense that weren't there, whatever, but it was just, you need to be ready as a team to play that. And that comes with your goalie, you want your star goalie, be ready to play for that. So,
And you know what, to be honest with you, I wasn't surprised against the Sabres, right? If you're looking at the schedule as a coach, I'm sitting there saying, hey, I want my number one to play against a perpetual playoff player or a playoff team and have enough rest to it. Like he's getting the second half of the back-to-back. Buffalo's, it's an in-division opponent. We can handle it. We beat them before. They're kind of hot, but they're not really that hot. We got it. I feel that Sway definitely has that. I hate to say it, the load management aspect of his game.
I was just gonna say, like, you got to start seeing the games you can manage, and that this more is a duo that a starting goalie, your perennial goalie, is used to, and having your 1B or someone playing back half of games, but not it being a 40-50, 60-40 split. Even the starter's gonna have to pick up more, and we haven't seen. I mean, the start of his season last year obviously was tough for how you could see he can handle a bigger load, and last season was just tough as well. So it's now you can see a forefront how he's responding, and hopefully this year you can see his record's better overall and he can manage those games. But we're seeing it now how he's going to respond.
And just to add to that, so you guys mentioned the load management too, but the Boston Bruins in October had a massive front-loaded schedule. I believe it was Ty Anderson who tweeted out that they played 14 games in 25 days, guys. Like it's a lot. Like, we got to remember that their season started on October 8th, not October 1st. Like, you know what I mean? So it wasn't at the start of the month. And those days matter. Like, when you're playing those kinds of back-to-backs and like, four games in a week, like, you got to think like that can, in a game like hockey, I mean, that can wear you down a bit. So like, I think I'm not surprised. I was a little bit, but then I realized like, okay, in October, they're approaching it very conservatively. They know they're playing a lot of games. They know what the outlook is gonna like. They know it's a long season, so they're gonna try and protect their goalies, protect their players, and do the best thing that they possibly can for them. Make sure that they're healthy to go throughout the rest of the season. So I agree with you guys, entirely there. I just wanted your thoughts on it. I thought Corpy played well for those 2 games. Like I don't have a problem with him necessarily. Sometimes I do question the defense that plays around him sometimes, because he does need that little bit of, extra defensive help. He's not a true number one. And I think we got that back in Hampus Lindholm, who played his first game in a little while against,
extremely noticeable, right? I think you guys can
Oh.
both say watching and seeing when
Yep.
he's on the ice there, and just the energy the Bruins brought. It was different. Like, if you saw that our earlier, or he wasn't hurt, maybe something like last episode would have been more cheery, because you can see the difference that goes on for the Bruins. But
Yep.
it was apparent.
This is where we transition to talking about his impacts, because you saw it in the 5-2 win. Admittedly, his first shift, not the greatest, but he's been out a little bit. Like,
Even
you know what I mean?
Boston said after the game too. He's like, his first shift, no, that wasn't great. But everything else after, top notch,
Yeah,
buddy.
A+. He was a -2 to start the game because, the Islanders got 2 quick ones. But after that, the Bruins didn't look back. They came out strong in the second. And then in the third, they just dominated New York. They overwhelmed them. It was great. And Hampus, a lot of times you saw him lead the way in that. When he was on I thought the Bruins power play looked a lot better with Hampus either on the second unit. By the way, I'm fucking dying for someone to wake up and just put him on the first power play unit. For the love of God, the way he moves
we've
the
done it
puck,
before, right? It's looked good.
So
To be fair, I wouldn't put him on the power play one, his first game back, just because
Might be a little bit of a rush.
it's a little bit of a rush, and let
Yeah.
him get his legs under him a little bit. You know what I mean? Let him get back to kind of game shape. But I think going forward, as long as he stays healthy, I don't see a problem with putting him on the power play one at all, just to kind of revamp it a little bit, bring some extra life to it. And I mean, he's smooth out there, right? We've seen it when he was on the power play too. It was a lot smoother. We actually got some stuff done. It wasn't, Charlie McAvoy kind of panicking and kind of coughing it up or making a wrong move or taking too long or whatever it was. It's a lot smoother. But to be fair, if I'm a coach, I'm not putting the guy who just came off of injury on the power play one. Let him get his legs under him a little bit and go from there. See how he looks on the power play two. And if we need to elevate him after that, go right ahead. Right? It's just
if
ahead,
Hampus wants a TiVo, he gets a TiVo. That's all I gotta
Whatever
say. They worked it into that contract, baby.
Hey, listen, it works. It
should be
works.
the agent cam, I guess. Pull him aside, talk him down.
Yeah.
And
You want a
I think
TiVo? Everyone gets a TiVo.
also to the impact of Lindholm back in the lineup,
Way over Steve's head.
I
Sorry.
think that
Go ahead, Steve.
what was it? I think that Charlie McAvoy has looked the best he's looked with him back in the lineup.
The last stretch?
I think
the last stretch of games, yeah.
And
it's noticeable for sure.
It's noticeable, and he's back to playing his shutdown defense. I think he is at his best when he's playing shutdown defense and allowing other people to handle more of the offensive transition. Not to say that he isn't capable of producing some offense with the help of Lindholm. I think that we were adding too much to his plate and too much to think about during the game. Keep his game simple. His game's a shutdown defense. He can use his size and his speed to put the body on people and kind of play that shutdown game that we want him to play. And I think he's gotten back to that with Lindholm being back on his side, on his pairing. So I think that was also noticeable too. And that made marginal improvements to the defensive play.
If I'm not mistaken, Zadorov was paired with McAvoy, but I think you're right in a sense where I think there's this sense of comfort and this sense of leadership that Lindholm brings to the bench. Like something about him being on the bench, like,
was it both games that he was
I believe it was, yeah, all 3 games.
Carolina with him.
They honestly might have they were switching up the lines a bit and the defensive pairs a bit, so we got to see some line juggling again, which, as you guys know, drives me batshit crazy and would drive Bruins fans batshit crazy. But when you're a little, I don't want to say a little thin on the defensive side right now, but if you're still trying to figure out what pair works, yeah, they're probably juggling them up just a smidgen. But I think it was Zadorov for the most part play with McAvoy. But even then, even if Lindholm's not on the ice with McAvoy, he's sitting on the bench with him. And I think there's a sense of leadership that Lindholm brings, or a sense of calmness I think he brings to that bench, where he can be a voice of reason. Like, oh, like if everyone's like, oh no, here we go again, we're down to nothing, or they're coming back, they're beating us up, blah, 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 blah. He's just like, guys, we're in it. It's not like we're losing this game 30-0. I feel like there's something that he brings that gets everybody up.
For sure.
Definitely.
For sure. And you know what? I kind of like the Bash Brother aspect of it too, with Zadorov and McAvoy. Like, just have your big body
God, he pummeled
there,
people.
just getting it. You know what I mean? I kind of
You wanted to like, I think, tear through the entire Buffalo bench at one point during that game. So, Zadorov was flexing his mean muscles.
Zadorov got a penalty in Carolina, and it was so funny because I think it was Judd that said, oh, he got a penalty for being too strong, because it did look like he just outmuscled. I think it was definitely got an arm around there. I can see why a penalty was called, but ultimately, like, he's just a bigger guy, and Kotkaniemi did go, like, he's Kotkaniemi respectively with his size compared to Zadorov. He's small. So yeah, no, I love the fact that Zadorov and McAvoy are crushing people. I love it, but I think a lot of it has to do with having Hampus back in the lineup, is giving, I think, Boston some additional oomph and some security in the back end.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely helping balance it out for sure. You guys really said it best. It just helps McAvoy keep his game more simple. And we see what success he brings in another type of game he could play that brings success, and Hampus just helps him do that, and kind of what I at least touched on last week, just take away a little bit of his workload or balance it out a little bit at least. And so and I think he just brings some natural good leadership qualities too. Like really does for the team.
And Cam, to your point about hating the line juggling, right? You know as well as I do is that I hate that shit more than anything. But I think that's what a caveat. I think the way that Jim Montgomery changed up the lines was the wrong way. Right?
Cam, I can't with your sound effects, dude. I really can't. It's hard to be serious. I'm trying to listen. I'm like saying, and then I hear woo in the back.
Anytime Jack chirps me, this is all I hear.
I throw it back in your face, but unfortunately, I have a laptop in front of me.
Anything good. All
right, back to the point at hand.
Okay, buddy. I'll wait till I skate by the bench. I'll skate by the bench this time, and I'm gonna let you unload them, and I'm gonna just laugh in your face.
Oh, Cam's pre-written chirps. Yeah, we know.
Listen,
they're gonna be awful. They're gonna be awful.
They are.
I'll tangent for a second, but I know he's looking forward to when I play him again.
They're gonna be awful, just like your fucking dives, dude. Don't give me that shit. I see you out there diving.
My dives, dude.
So anyways, back to the point, right?
You can't even shoot a one-timer. Sorry.
Anyway, the point is, I hate the lineup changes in the middle of the game. I think if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. But also, if you're not getting what you need to get out of all these guys, is you need to change something up. And I'm okay with the style that Sturm was using to change up the lines, right? Like, if it's not working, make the change, but also don't be afraid to start a line as something new to try to see if it works better, right? And I think we saw that kind of with the offense and with the defense, and
each coach is more open to letting that fluidity sometimes, and open to trying new things, and to
it's just the Montgomery aspect of, hey, every single game, every single period, you're going to play with a different line. Yep. Like, that gets ridiculous to me. That's awful, right? Like, that's not what I'm looking for.
You're right, guys. At least Sturm is giving them the full game. Unless something's going drastically wrong and they're losing like 7-1, then like in the Ottawa game, then you gotta do something. You gotta try and find something that works and move a couple guys around. I get that, but at least Sturm is allowing guys to practice together, to be together for a small stretch of games, just to actually see. Because right now, guys, like, what do they have to lose? Like, in all honesty, so let's just say the Bruins make the playoffs. Like, are they gonna get out of the first round? Hell no. They're not going to beat the Montreals, the Lightning. I don't think they're going to do that. Well, maybe the Lightning, but definitely not Montreal.
I think they might beat Montreal. If they play,
that would be quite the series, wouldn't it be?
This is a caveat to it, though. If they play for 7 games the way that they played against Carolina, being big and physical and willing themselves to,
and just smushing the other team down, just
exactly
like
bully the other team,
shift after shift, hit after hit, just play mean,
shots to the perimeter.
Yep.
Like go to the net, like I've said before too.
Yep.
Get greasy, ugly goals. Just get right in there.
Yep, and don't be afraid to lay the body all game long, like Zadorov
Real
did.
quick on
like
that,
the whole lineup, the whole forward.
Big booty Zadorov, man. That's what I'm saying.
It happens, and you can outmuscle teams like the finesse quite teams like Montreal, as long as you beat the shit out of them.
Yeah,
and
we're the biggest, heaviest team, among the league, and the numbers show it. So it's like that should go into your success formula. Like we should think, oh, we should be doing that in some way. So I'm glad they can try keep doing that.
Success. Real quick on the greasy goals, guys, because I like what you and Steve said. Because if you look at it, go watch back at that Carolina game, they're like that puck, like Anderson was lucky more didn't go in. Like that puck was all up and around that crease.
Yeah.
And like Bruins were just all around that crease. Carolina was letting them walk in. Like, let's be real. Like if you could play, you're right. If the Bruins can play the exact same way they played against Carolina and get pucks to the net and bodies to the net like the way they did, yes, fine. I will concede to the point that they have that opportunity. But back to the discussion of is that really like a feasible thing to ask night in and night out to be a consistent thing without the other team learning? No, it's going to be a back and forth. But it goes to, I don't mind what Sturm is doing because at least he's giving them an opportunity to grow. And he's not just saying like, okay, that shift didn't work, so we're going to change it up again. Montgomery did it shift by shift. Sturm is doing it by stretches of games. And that's important. And, real quick with the Lindholm thing and like why I think he plays such a pivotal role in that is because the Bruins are 2-6 without him, 5-1 with him.
That's substantial. That's substantial numbers.
I said that in the group chat, right? I didn't say it publicly, but it's like the difference between him in the lineup and him not in the lineup is astounding, and you can see it. The final product of games of, hey, we might have squeaked by a win here, right? I think Carolina is a perfect example. Yeah, we squeaked a win by them, right? But that game, we predominantly dominated them and had a really good game plan. More goals probably should have went in, especially some of those greasy goals.
Yeah, but the score was not reflective of the play. The score was definitely not reflective of the play.
Exactly. But the invert is also true, where we might have lost games where we should have won, right? By the base of style of play, right? It's just, I think that game, the Carolina game, was more definitive of what this Boston Bruins club have the potential of being on a consistent basis. If they just pull what they pulled out of their ass on a more consistent basis, we will see more games where it's like, hey, we're outworking this team. We're getting back to the simple game of hockey of get pucks to the net, bang bodies, and get greasy goals. It's really that simple.
Guys, I'm going to say it. I do not, and I can't believe I'm going to say it.
Say it.
I do not hate Tanner Jeannot.
God.
I still do.
Man, I can't.
And it's causing me emotional pain.
It should.
Not really. Look at you, buddy. You look like you're about to cry right now. Are you okay?
He's moved me in way. No, he's just he's just been, I think, better. And I think exactly he's growing to where I hope he would be, not in the goal scoring aspect, not in the assist aspect, but the way he's playing his body and creating space for Minton and whoever else is on that line with them. That's the big
Weirdly
thing.
Enough, I like it. Weirdly enough, yeah. I've seen while playing them. I'm like, okay, this somewhat works. And Minton plays a certain way and drives the play, and then Tanner Jeannot seems to complement it somehow. Who would have thought?
Yep.
Yep.
But it works somehow. It does.
it's painful for me to admit what they're missing is just a scorer because Tanner ain't doing
On
it,
that
which is
third line
okay.
for sure.
Yeah, and Minton is great. He's a very respectable two-way forward, very good hockey IQ for that line. They just need a shooter, Fabian. But that's fine. Sorry, I got something stuck in my throat.
Yeah, you had to clear a little bit there or something.
Had to clear my Fabian Lysell down in Providence out of my throat.
Well, I saw a play. It
by the
looked
way,
amazing. It was like, literally driving the play and walking through guys, but it's okay.
it's fine. He's down in Providence. He's wasting time, just like maybe Patra is too. But that's okay. We're gonna see them at the after the trade deadline once everyone leaves. Yeah, Tanner. I have to give some respect to Tanner. I gave that guy a lot of shit, but I think he's
You
growing
still
on
will.
me a little bit.
You still will.
Oh, at times.
Love-hate relationship.
Oh, just wait. Just wait. He's gonna have one bad game, and I'm gonna be back on like that motherfucker. 3.5 million no trade. Like I'm gonna be back on it. I'm gonna be back on my bullshit. I'll be back on my bullshit.
Don't worry, Tanner. You still got one fan of the hater club right here with you.
He's never going anywhere. He's never
going anywhere. Has his play been better? Yeah, I think that also helps because Minton is on there driving the play.
Exactly.
And doing that, and they're playing, dare I say, well together. But the fact is, I can't justify his contract. I can't justify his salary for what he's producing. Again, if you're going to pay a guy $1.5 million just to go out there and bang bodies and create space, sure. Not for 3.5, and
I'd
not
feel better instead of $3.5 million.
Exactly. That's my hang up with that. It's like we could have found so many other people for way cheaper and contract wise, the length of the contract for much less than what we have you for. And
I think someone who just got
him credit because Minton is pulling shit out of his ass and creating opportunity for you.
To be fair, though, Tanner has made some really nice passing plays. I will give him credit where some credit's due. Like, you know what I mean? He has his moments, but yeah, not like Tanner is not impressing, by the way, as much as Morgan Geekie is. He's definitely someone we have to talk about. He's the top. He's the
beat me there, Cam. I was going to try and be like, speaking of someone who just got extended for a better contract, who's playing well with their contract right now? The guy who's playing out of his mind.
I mean, as the episode name suggests, dude, it's the Geekie effect. He has 9 goals, 2 assists on the season.
Squad. I am geeked up right now. If you guys can't tell.
That's it's a funny phrase. It's a funny way of putting it. He's geeked up right now, dude. Woo!
Sorry, no, I've seen on Twitter, or X, or whoever you want to call it, or anything. When Bruins,
whatever you want to call it nowadays.
When they're talking during the game, they'll be just posting their memes about being geeked up, and I'm like, I see you, and I appreciate it.
And I am with you, dude. He is on a heat. I mean, he didn't score any points in the.
It's incredible.
He didn't score any points in the Carolina game, but that's okay, dude. Like, I'm sorry, like I'm not going to expect the world out of Morgan Geekie, but he's coming into
now
his own
because he's incredible, and I love him, and I would die for him. Sorry, keep going.
For everyone out there, Morgan Geekie is Jack's Man Crush Monday every Monday. Like he's geeked. He's geeked up. He's geeking. I don't even know what else. There's probably a million things that I could come up with
this is quite the fun episode, guys.
By far the most impressive player of the week. I mean, it's
absolutely.
The thing is, he's on a heater. Yes, he didn't get any points in the Carolina game, but guess what?
Big whoop-de-doo.
Big whoop-de-doo. He still played an amazing fucking game against Carolina. He was noticeable. He was getting pucks to net. He was doing what he needed to do. One just didn't go in for him. That's it. But his pace of play has not changed in 7 games. What did he have? 6 goals, 7 games, or 7 goals in 6 games, and then that streak kind of ended. But again,
I think it was 6 and 6. The number escapes me because I had the stat in the back of my mind, but either way. In the month of October, he had 11 points in 13 games, dude. Like that's impressive. Like a lot of people weren't sure how he was going to mature in that contract. And right now, I mean, you're looking at a guy that's on, a 64-point pace, a 52 goal pace. Like it's, and even Pasternak said it. He's just like, he has the talents and the ability to get to 50. And like, and you could even see it
his
in
shot.
Pasta's
When he was
face.
telling him as well, like Pasta was saying, like I've told him too that his shot is elite, and it's developed and come into one. So
That
Okay.
clap bomb
if
on the, I
Pasta's
think,
saying it, that's impressive.
yeah. I mean, the clap bomb he had from the point that was clocked at 95 miles an hour. Then I can't remember I can't remember who was on, but wow, dude, holy smokes!
Cam, you might recall this from the summer. Jack, you weren't around for this, but I said it this summer. Morgan Geekie, 50 and 25. I called it in the summer.
Steve,
50 goals in 2025.
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay. No. Hold on. Well, in the way that was said
50.
First,
I thought he meant like 50 goals and 25 assists. That's what I thought. I
thought it maybe in 25 games. I was like, that's going to be ridiculous.
Nope.
But
2025, he's getting 50 goals.
Okay.
And all those people out there that are haters of Morgan Geekie, this is just a one-off year. This is a one-off year. No, It's fucking not. He's the real deal. So suck it.
Tell him, Steve. Tell him, Steve. Suck it.
Nothing grinds my gears when a guy actually has a good season because he's actually playing with an elite level player.
And he's actually a good player too, who is an actual skill set, and it's being brought to the forefront, and people want to try and disrespect it. And of course, it has the Boston Bruin tag, so they're like, "Oh yeah,
exactly."
People and you know what? Whatever, but
so I hope he scores 100 fucking goals. Okay, but I will settle for 50 goals in 2025, so everyone else can shut the fuck up and
trademark it, write it down.
Try it. Yeah, exactly. Trademark it and write it down. We're going live on Twitter with this hashtag Geekie 50 and 25. Okay, that's what we're doing. Just like
this is what we're gonna get.
Danny Heatley in 07, 50 goal scorer. Okay, that's what we're going for.
This is what we're gonna get the blow from the show. If we can get one thing, we're gonna have a tweet tag or something, or a hashtag that goes viral.
Do you want to know Do you want to know who Steve sounds like right now? Like going through that?
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm gonna toss it right up. Les Grossman from Tropic Thunder, aka
that's
Tom
how you're gonna
Cruise
transition. Oh my God.
from Tropic Thunder.
I don't know what kind of Pan-American power play you're trying to pull here.
Bullshit that you're running. But Morgan Geekie's getting 50 goals.
So you're just trying to tell him that he's bald as well. You're trying to tell Steve that he's bald.
I'm not saying he's bald.
Exactly. Come on now. Come on.
Good genes.
Oh,
just like
he did. Come on,
baby. Come on. You gotta
tell me he didn't. Like he went on the tear, just going like, "This is Steve Jobs. Who is this?" And this is like, this is every Bruins fan against Morgan Geekie. Okay, fuckface. Why don't you take a step back and fuck off? He's gonna score 50 goals this season.
I'm gonna punch you through the screen. I'm gonna make someone punch you through the screen because that's how angry I am.
Exactly. That pissed me off. One off year.
That pissed me off.
Eat it. So just very nicely, Morgan, keep up the pace and score 50 so I don't have to eat my words later. Thank you kindly.
I like that little thing that you're like reaching out to and just being like, by the way, don't make me look like a fucking dick. Like just please, for the love of God, like keep pace. So
by
I
the way,
your
job is the easiest. Was what a trained I don't want to say it could be offensive. Trained monkey could do.
Oh my goodness. Oh man.
Listen, it's 2025. We got to be careful what we talk about.
That is we've been quoting that movie, dude, all week. Tropic Thunder. I know. Like Steve and I were like going off in the chat, and like by the way, the movie's
and I was just watching and looking at what are these guys saying. Then I got up to speed. I watched it because it's funny enough. I watched the beginning of it a while ago, and I went through and watched the rest of it today, and I was thoroughly enjoying it. So,
I still can't believe like when we were going off on the quotes and you were just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about, you psychos?
There was no one I had to like recognize, but on most part I was like out of context. I'm like, what are you guys saying? And then I was like, wait a second. And then I put it together because I've heard of it obviously, but then like just reading it, I'm like, what?
Oh, it's one. I mean, that's the thing, baby. Welcome to the roller coaster. Welcome to the fucking show.
And I'm brought up to speed. I'm brought up to speed now, and so now we can,
Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch.
Thunderdome. Listen, I just like the dance move the best. I'll just start doing listen, feel with it.
Oh, at the end?
Oh no, just his character dancing when the scene with Matthew McConaughey as well when he's like he's gonna, leave the guy for dead or whatever, and he just keeps like hanging out and whatever, and he's like
Oh, like the G5 airplane too. He's like talking about that. It just goes, or we could save him, or you could have a G5 airplane. And like he actually considered, he goes, are we talking like an actual airplane? It's just like, dude, what the fuck are we doing? Like these people
I just love
are
his
like
moves. I just love his dance moves,
listeners.
man. They're great. They're amazing. They're
Man,
awesome.
no, Jack Black, RDJ, Ben
Studded
Stiller,
cast.
McConaughey, Tom Cruise. It was just Danny McBride, because whatever, and whoever the British guy is. I can't. The only one I didn't like in that movie. I love how he transitioned to talk about Tropic Thunder too. By the way, I hate Jay Baruchel. Oh my god, I can't
Baruchel, isn't it
stand him.
Bruchel?
Whatever the fuck his name is, I can't
You don't like him?
stand him. No,
man.
I do not think he's funny.
Man.
He's
Dude,
funny.
no, I can't. I really get. Fuck you. I have a speech impediment. Like
I went to speech therapy and classes growing up as well, so it's okay.
Jack, if you haven't seen it, like, this is the end. Like, as a drag. Fuck.
No, seriously, Jay.
Oh,
stop that. It's hurting.
So
is it really?
Stop it.
Stop it. Does it, Jay? Does it really? Is that what's happening right now? It's not that compelling. You know who is compelling? Morgan fucking Geekie, dude. That's amazing. Oh, your nice little tangent on like Morgan, please score 50. He's on pace for 52, buddy. So you're right up there.
No, he's definitely and all jokes aside, he's going to be scoring a heap amount of goals again this year. He is a talented forward who's coming into his own. He has a great offensive instinct. It's coming alive, and Pastrnak has helped it develop a little bit, but I think we're seeing him come into his own, and the numbers speak for itself, but he is just a very fun Bruin he's becoming, I'd say.
I think it's so awesome and a good thing. Like, when you talk about juggling lines, and I know we don't like it, but if
no one does, let's just say like no one likes it. When someone just gets the blender out, you're like, God, could we not? That's not.
But if you're the person that the coach goes to and says, I'm putting you on the second or third line to get them going because I have that much faith in your offensive ability, I think that's a good nod to Geekie, because he's been the guy that's been moving around to get other lines going. So true. I think that just speaks more. Yes. So
he's offensive. His offensive awareness, as you say in NHL video games, is off the charts. He just knows where to go. It's off the charts, man, and he's that good. And I don't think it was, I think Pasta played a role.
Degenerate Cam, I swear. Sorry, I got to keep outing him. I just can't.
It's good, but like the thing is with him, it's you go from your third line to your second line to your first line to play with legit talent, and you can see that he's just grown into that role the whole way, because he always had the potential, and he's always had that offensive awareness and the offensive talent to do that. He couldn't get anything going with a third line who he basically had no chemistry with. And now that he has chemistry with Pasta, who's obviously an elite player, it's twofold, because he makes Pasta better and Pasta makes everybody better. That's just kind of how it works.
Beneficial relationship.
I want to just bring up Pastrnak real quick, because obviously it's so easy for us to kind of look at Pastrnak and just say, yes, like he's an elite player, and like we could glaze on him, like, every episode, because he's probably the Bruins' most consistent player. He's the star forward, and like,
sorry.
Make that Jack's second man crush on every Man Crush Monday. It's just what about my mother, Jack? What about my mother?
No, not that way.
We're gonna we're just so easy to just like hype him up and be like, yeah, of course you kind of expect it. But honestly, guys, like for real, and I made a tweet about this, or an X tweet, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's weird. You call it X, but what do you call the like X's, O's?
The X tweet, the X tweet, the X's and O's.
Yeah, or like whatever you want to call the post. And I was just like, this might be a biased opinion, but like Pastrnak is making a very strong case where you could arguably put him in the top 5, top 10, if not the top 5 players right now, just because the scoring stats are in his favor for that. The way he's played is in his favor for that. Is it a biased opinion?
Yes.
Is it a biased opinion? Yes.
No,
I mean, it is.
It's not.
Because I'm looking at it through
facts.
faded glasses.
The fact is he's gotten
are-
snubbed of MVP. That's how you say it, right? MVP votes is incredible. For the
Yeah, it's
past
3
few
letters. Yep.
seasons. Cam, we both have had some trouble pronouncing with our speech shit today. I don't want to hear it.
Oh,
I
can't
don't
pronounce
want
it.
to hear it. I don't want to hear it. The minus has really outed me, but we're gonna keep going, okay? We're gonna keep going.
It's all
We're
good.
gonna
boys.
keep going.
It's all good, boys. No, but the facts is he's arguably a top 5 player in the league, and he's been a top 5 player in the league.
It's stupid to say
for
not.
years.
It's stupid. It's incredible.
Again, we talked about this at the end of the season, where who else put up 100 points on garbage fucking teams?
Pasternak.
Nobody.
Pasternak. Exactly, except for
his point totals from last year.
Well, no, that's what you said, right? Like you said, who else has done it? Nobody. The second person closest to him last year was Sidney Crosby. Again, another elite forward.
Exactly.
93 points. Consider that.
And you know what? Like, he's an elite player, and he's top 5 in the league. He's probably, I hate to say it, and this is what a biased opinion is. He's probably top 3. That's biased. He's definitely top 5.
I can't give you that.
He's top 3. That's biased.
Maybe go for it. I mean,
think he's definitely making a case.
Concerned, but that's
there's definitely a case
because my top 3 are definitely like Draisaitl, McDavid, like no particular order, like Draisaitl, McDavid, McCarr, McKinnon's, like those guys like are definitely like 4. Like I'm not putting them in any order, but like you could probably argue you could put Pasternak in there, like Kucherov too. The problem is, guys, there's so many good players. Maybe I should say top 5 and forwards. That'll probably make it seem less bias. Because, like, in all honesty, like, someone will say, like, well, you forgot about Quinn Hughes, Jack Hughes, and like all these other guys. I'm like, yeah, but like, I don't know. It's just
better than both of those guys that you just mentioned.
Well, I mean, in their own rights, like, right, like if I'm taking, like, if I'm gonna say top 5 defensemen and top 5 forwards and then top 5, like, players overall, like, that might be a biased opinion to say like top 5 if he's in the top 3 because, like, there's other good players out there. But no, I think Pasternak's making definitely a case for top 5 forwards, top 10 players. That's where I would kind of have that, if I'm being honest with you. I think he would be number 7 probably on my list in top 10 if I had to place him somewhere.
That's
it hurts to do that because you would want to place him higher. Like I hear that, I'm like, no, but you're right. There's so many things considered.
Next week we should do that. Top 5 players.
Let's totally do that.
And 3 forwards.
We'll do that. We'll bring that next week. It'll be a cornerstone. We're gonna be like, yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't mind doing that. But yeah, like I said, it's a bit of a biased opinion. It's easy, guys. Like he's probably the easiest Bruin to be like, he's there every night. He's making plays. He's doing everything he can out there. Like, he's in his prime. And like, you just see it. Is he going to have like bad shifts? Sure. Like whatever. But like, I'm willing to forgive it because he's also trying to do what he can. So that's going to come with mistakes.
Yep.
So that's the only caveat to it. One person I'm definitely missing and I'm going to miss, just to kind of go into some injuries here. Like, is Elias Lindholm. In terms of faceoffs, he's giving you somewhat of a Selke type year. Again, I'm not saying he's going to win the Selke. I'm not saying he is a Selke caliber player right now. I'm talking about in terms of faceoffs. He has been dominant in the dot. I think it was like 57.45%. He's been awesome in the league. He's been awesome for Boston, winning them where you need. Sure, he's getting points on the power play, but at least he's producing. But if he's not producing, he's getting your team in a position where they can produce. So that's things that I'm looking for out of him. And he's been, living up to that. It was reported that he's going to miss some time, about 2 to 4 weeks. I think it is, guys, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Just under a month.
2 to 4 sounds
so
great.
Huge loss.
Yep.
Huge loss.
Face-off dot.
Incredibly huge loss. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, up to him playing before, up to when he got hurt, he was looking dynamic and playing a lot better than I thought we had, expected, and what we've kind of touched upon him so far, talking about him this season. He's really provided more than I thought Bruins fans could expect coming out from what we saw last year. But, it hurts for sure. And that, and you're going to see some differing at the faceoff dot without someone like him providing that stability there. So it's going to be interesting how other guys on our team can help respond to that or pick up some slack there. But it's going to be a tough few weeks, because he's been substantial for sure.
Yep. I'll tell you where they're going to hurt the most is on the power play when you get some offensive zone face-offs and getting some set plays going. You're going to really miss him on that.
Definitely.
By the way, in terms of the power play, with Hampus Lindholm being back in like this past week, we've jumped, I think, from 19th or 21st in power play all the way up to 13th place now with 21.7%. So it's clearly gotten better. That's no joke. Like, that's 6 spots.
So in a short time frame as well. When you bring in one player and you see the ripple effects that happen from that, it's again substantial. So.
And arguably, like, yes, like the Islanders, not a great team right now, but God, Schaefer's so good, man, and he's going to be really good. And I'm like, they have a decent defense. Sorokin's a good goaltender. Buffalo, again, like, not a strong team, so you expect the power plays to perform against them, but still, for this week and those 4 games to jump you that many spots, it's a good week. It's a good week. Watch, next week we'll be back down at 19th. We're gonna be like, fuck, well, that lasted. But that was one thing we talked about, though. But that was one thing we talked about, though, guys. Like, the power play needed to do it. Like, that variant of the special teams needed to do their job, and they went out and they did their job this past week. And I thought it helped them tremendously. Now, Elias Lindholm on the power play, that's going to be massive in the sense because now your face-off guy is no longer there to help make sure that you get that win to start the power play. Massive loss.
So you're gonna have to see who else can do that really, and I think some other guys can as our savior. We've seen him for already. Our savior, I think Geekie, if he's put in there, he can help, but he's not really a devoted center. So you're gonna have to see who else can. No, not. But you're gonna have to see what you're gonna do for that. So it's gonna be interesting, how the power play responds without Elias. And I think, unfortunately, it might take a little bit of a hit, but it's going to be a test for us. I mean, for the team, too. See, how do you do it?
Dear God, can we please just get, a few stretch of games where both Lindholms are playing and they're healthy? Like,
can't seem to happen for us for some reason. No, fans can't have anything nice.
Nope.
The hockey gods woke up one morning and just said only 1 Lindholm per team. I don't know who decided that, but apparently that's the way it is. We can't have anything nice, guys.
Strike him down.
I would like to see like several stretches of games because little day-to-day things here, like maintenance days, whatever, is fine. But like in terms of longer-term injuries, no, I want to see them play. I want to see them in the lineup because Lindholm, good defensive forward, and then Hampus, again, a good strong defenseman. You need those guys in your lineup because they're clearly impactful players, and it's shown.
Yeah, I am just happy we have Hampus moving forward for a little bit as well. And again, ideally, you want both.
Hopefully,
Lindholm's. Yeah, hopefully, knock on wood. But ideally, you want both of them in there. But
the knee scares me.
Yeah, but we've already talked about how important it is once you insert Hampus and you see the difference. So even if it's only 1 out of the 2, I think it's still gonna provide some help and suffice. But but having both of them is the best, and you'll see how the best play can come out of it for the Bruins when they have both Lindholms. But at least having Hampus in is gonna help with some stability, I think. Hopefully.
The other guy is Jordan Harris. Yeah, the other guy. Jordan Harris is out a couple months. I believe it was something with his ankle. I don't know specifically what. I can't remember what. I think it was a fractured ankle.
Fracture,
yeah. Sidelined for a couple months. So, I mean, it's good. It's not long term, but then he's got to ramp up a little bit. I liked Jordan Harris's play. I thought he, if any of the defensemen were not playing well, you had confidence that you could kind of sit them down and punish them a little bit and say, no, we're going to put this other guy in, get pissed. You should be better. You should be better, blah, blah, blah. Now, has Aspero, I'm going to screw his name up. Has he come in and done an okay job? Yes, but he's not it. Michael Callahan, clearly not it. He didn't have a good stint, when he got called up.
Love that he's from Franklin. Shout out again, always. I'll shout that out, but
love it. Love it. And obviously, like, Harris being the Haverhill kid.
That's true.
But I think Asperock came in, has done a decent job. But obviously Jordan Harris is going to be a bit of a miss. I thought he played well with the defensive pairings, and that's the injury update. But the other important news that comes with that is obviously with Harris being out, you kind of thin your defense a bit. And so as we talked before, excuse me, that Lowry needed to be scratched. And
it had to be
did.
done. It had to be done.
I think after that, I think it was after the Ottawa game, he was healthy scratched, if I'm not mistaken. And he sat out 3 straight games against
Up to
the
3
Islanders,
games.
Buffalo.
3 games.
Yep. So, and Marco Sturm was quoted saying that, good, he should be pissed.
He should be angry. And I was surprised seeing that. I was like, okay. But you know what? The way Sturm kind of goes about that, I approve, and as a player, it'd be tough to see that. But I think also I would know on a level that, wow, my coach cares about me, and he wants to push me. That's ultimately what he wants to do. And we've seen that with Sturm and, the way he's responded to the team and the players on this team so far. He's wanted to push them, especially the younger guys. So,
If
he
honestly, we talked about, Swayman, was Sturm trying to send Swayman a message, right? Like, I don't think so.
No,
but this was a clear message to Lowry. Your defensive game needs work. You should be pissed about the way you've been playing. And if I was him, I would be pissed. But
and he kind of maybe gets as a player as well, being like, I would get it as well. Like, I would be pissed if I was in your shoes. So I think he's trying to, again, show that as well and be able to, have serious but working good relationship with your players to want to push them and get the best out of them. So
especially with his performance of the past couple weeks, he hasn't been great.
No.
We've given you enough time to try to figure it out, and you're not getting it. So how else can I get this message sent to you? And being a healthy scratch for 3 straight games, maybe more. We don't know. That's a clear message, right? It's the way you're playing isn't good enough, and we can't afford to lose games because you're not giving your all and you're not getting it.
Yeah, I think it'll be an indicator if he plays by this Tuesday, because the Bruins play the Islanders again a week after, which they had played them this past week when they won 5-2. I'm just looking at the schedule quickly right now. But so I think there's a chance we probably see him, right? What do you think the message is if he is not playing then and then continues not to?
I like that Sturm is keeping them on short leashes. Sorry, Steve, I'll say this quickly. I mean, I liked Lowry's response in the Avs game where he got 3 points after Sturm basically called him out and said, like, no, that goal, like, that Greer scored, going back a week or 2 ago.
Yeah, he said
that was on Lowry.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the offensive response, but it's not the offensive response I'm looking for.
Defensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I'm looking for an offensive response from you. I'm looking for a defensive response. I know you can score. I know you can move the puck. I know you can pass it, because that's one thing. If Lowry does, that's his most consistent piece. He can pass in the offensive zone, but his turnovers in the back end are bad. So if they do go back in, yeah, they're terrible. They've actually caused goals. They've arguably caused you to lose the games. And not just him, but some others as well that have done that, like, just passing it right out in front and with no one there to grab it, and the other team scoops it up and pots it past Swayman or Corpy. So hard to blame the goalie on that. So if Lowry comes back in, I need to see the defensive response. I want to see the defensive
if he's
response.
definitely in against the Islanders,
he can go off for 10 goals. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, if you go off for 10 goals, but you're still, and you win the game 10-9, and you're only a +1, that's a problem. Because that means you were on the ice for 9 goals against, assuming it was 5-on-5.
Yeah, and then at that rate, you're not helping anyone or any favors.
Yeah.
But the example still stands. You're not.
No, his defense needs work, and we, again, like you said, we need to see a response. And again, what response are you looking for, I guess, is the next question. But to me, it's like, hey, don't give up garbage turnovers in front of the net. Play a solid defensive game. You know how to move the puck. You can clearly do it, right? You have offensive capabilities where you can move the puck, get assists. You can move the puck and move your body to get goals, right?
Yep. Tall kid too.
Why can't you translate that into your own defensive zone? Back to basics here.
Use your big frame,
Look for the wings at the hash at the boards. Don't pass it in front of the net. It's really not that hard. We're back to squirt hockey here. It's really that simple. Keep the puck away from the center of the ice when you're trying to transition north. That's it. It's really that simple. So I'm looking at that.
When you get into battles and you need to, protect yourself and the puck, use your frame, you got to get a little nastiness into your game. He's got a size, and I think he could learn something from Zadorov maybe, or just trying to, not being fair to stand up to you guys a little bit more.
And to be fair, I think he could learn something from Charlie McAvoy, because Charlie McAvoy isn't a tiny guy either. Learn how to use your body.
Yep, exactly. And we see when McAvoy is playing his best game, when he's doing that to the T. So, if he can, do that and help Lori out in a sense, maybe they can both, try and help improve their game and stay up to where it should be and playing the right way. That's the best way to go.
Now, Lori's only 24, guys. So it's like I'm willing to give him a little bit of time. I'm not going to give him like this long leash, but I want to say by the time his contract's out, I got to see. I got to see big improvement from him. I got to see that growth. And there's a reason why Chara is there. Spend some time with Chara, get it done. On the players that have responded to the way you would want them to, when Middlestat was held out, he came back, got you 2 points, and I believe you won the game. That's the response. I gauge my responses that I want to see out of these players based upon their roles and their positions. And so Middlestat responded the way I thought I needed to see him respond. Then he scored 2 points against Carolina. Again, good responses that come from those types of players. And then, there's the players that respond in a way when they get slotted into the lineup, like Beecher and Hustinodinov, who have shown you that yes, I'm willing to answer the call. I'm willing to do what it takes to get this team to win. And I think that only builds the locker room. So I hope Lowry in the sense can really look inward and be like, what do I need to do to get to the level that those players know how to respond the way they need to, and how can I translate that to the way I need to respond?
That's exactly it. If I'm Lori, I'm going right to Chara's office and saying exactly what you just said, minus the what do I need to do to make sure I'm responding the same way, guys. It's like, what do I need to do to better my game? What are you guys looking for? I'm trying here to make a difference. I'm trying to do the right thing. What more do I need to do, or what do I need to do to show you guys that I'm ready to be here and I'm worthy of a spot on this roster?
Yeah, it'll come from himself as well. He's got to put that work in too. So we'll see how he can respond as well. I think someone like Chara is a really good resource. So he has the tools to find some way, or turn around in one way or another. So hopefully,
guys, great discussion on the team, the state of the team, the injuries, and everything. We earlier in the episode we spoke about schedule and how the Bruins games were front loaded. They had, I believe, and again, I'm going to quote Ty Anderson here and say it was 14 games in 25 days. I think it was more like 14 games in 23 because of just the way the math, the numbers worked in October. But whatever. That's nitpicking at that point. And he probably has a better handle on it than I do. And in fact, I would bet he would. The Bruins go 6-7 in the month of October. Again, I'm going to say 7-7 because I'm going to count the November 1st game more towards the October games just because of the closeness of the proximity of it. So we're at 500. So we start the month of November off with a clean slate. For the sake of what I'm going to mention, though, so in November, we actually have 14 games in 30 days. That includes the game played against Carolina. So just for that stat, I'm including the Carolina game there. 8 of those games are away, so this is going to be a big,
road trip
month for Boston to kind of show how road trips will impact that chemistry. And so that's one thing I'm looking for. And then December, like, we're actually reaching a point where now these games are more evened out. You're looking at a more regular hockey schedule as opposed to whatever the craziness in October was. December, again, 14 and 31. January, 14 and 31. February is where the Olympics are occurring, so it's only 4 and 28. March is the big one. It's 15 and 31, and there is
Jeez.
the longest stretch is 8.
I'm seeing 16.
In 8.
16 games.
16?
Oh, sorry. So I miscounted. And 8 games are within 14 nights. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So March is going to be brutal.
March is going to be brutal.
March is brutal. So they're going to
That's
start.
usually
They
what it's
start
like
the
though, at
season.
the end of the season, and they cram it in though.
Yeah. So they start the season rough. They're going to end the season rough. But in the middle, we're going to truly see what this team looks like as it hands out. So I just wanted to bring that up and maybe just get what your guys' thoughts are on how that schedule is going to lay out and what kind of hopes we have for the Bruins. Sorry, I know that was a little bit longer than I wanted to make it.
Well, to the point of they're now being kind of evened out for the next 3 months, right? That's kind of cool. And we can really dive into see on a normal scale how with average rest and all that stuff how this team can do. But even though there's only 4 games in February, that's still no joke. All right, there's gonna be several guys that go and play in the Olympics on our team, right? And again, you're playing for your country, right? And we've seen it in was it the Four Nations face-off, right? Where those games just get ramped up, right? Like it's just one of those things where you're hoping everybody comes out healthy.
People seem to forget that when when your country and nationality and your pride's on the line, it gets intense. People forget that these players actually care about these games, in the right scenario. So
I mean, who doesn't want to win an Olympic gold? But then you come back after it to March to a March mayhem, dude. It's that's crazy. But
it's our version of March Madness, but the name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the name on the back.
Of course.
Get that through your thick skull.
Oh yeah.
I knew you were gonna say that, Cam.
Goated movie.
You laid it up for me, baby. You laid it up.
I saw that movie 8 times in the movie theater when I was a kid.
Great movie.
Another
great movie.
I wish.
Easily my favorite hockey movie out of that. So Miracles went top tier to me. Like if I'm looking for comedies, Goon, Slapshot, but like in terms of like overall hockey movies, Miracle.
America.
No, not America. Miracle. That was
Miracle.
A fucking miracle.
You just said it like America.
But no, you guys are right. Like, just because there's only 4 games in February doesn't mean like those players aren't like looking ahead to playing for their countries and just bringing out the intensity. And Steve, you mentioned it perfectly with the Four Nations. Charlie McAvoy got a shoulder infection. Like, I think Matty Tkachuk got hurt. And
we also saw, almost, best McAvoy playing at the time, his play for that. So,
and after that, McAvoy didn't play at all. So that's another thing to watch for is injuries, right? I think the stretch of games in November is going to be interesting to say the least. I mean, you said it. What was there? A lot of 8 games is a road trip.
8 of the 14 games are away. Yes, so just over 50%.
And you're going to see. I just pulled it up on ESPN. Look at the schedule. You're seeing another West Coast road trip, right? You got Bruins at Ducks, Bruins at Kings, and Bruins at Sharks.
That's always a classic.
Tell me that
road trip.
Tell me those 10 o'clock games just aren't brutal.
Always brutal.
Oh, man.
For East Coasters, yeah.
They're
definitely. Who wants to stay up till 1 a.m. watching the Bruins game when you have work at 7 a.m. the next morning? I totally get that. I totally get it. But for me, it's at 9:30, so it's kind of like a little pass for me. So I kind of love it. And also, I love 10 o'clock hockey because when I'm in the mood to bet some hockey games, I got games at 7, 8:30 and 10 o'clock, so I can keep the whole train rolling for a while. So it's
you can set your parlay up perfectly. You could just, as each game goes on, you can just watch it as it goes.
Exactly.
And then hopefully cash in by the end.
Yes, sir.
Steve is our local DraftKings connoisseur, and as he should be. He's actually killing us in the
our local
prediction
bookie
tracker. So
Awesome.
yeah, he's the local bookie. He's like giving the gambling
I
advice.
work for Vegas. Vegas.
Don't worry, he may or may not have sent me parlay tips in our group chat or thing or like bets that I should do. He'd be like, Jack, you should do this. I'm like, oh, okay.
Hey, hold on.
Steve doesn't write the script.
We're
Vegas
talking
writes
about
the script for Steve.
Vegas writes the script for Steve.
I don't read the script. The script reads me.
I don't read the script. Script reads me. I tell you, when I read that, when I watched that, I couldn't, man. It's just the way he delivered that line and just so like serious in the moment. He's like, script reads me.
But, hey, Jack, what I tell you about Buffalo game? Plus 100 on the Boston Bruins money line. I'm $100 richer.
Yep, every time.
What I tell you, I mean,
This man is crazy.
Stats don't lie, baby.
The stats do not lie.
You're right, guys. All right, guys, let's get into the Big Bad Bruin. We're gonna get into the predictions as we normally do, and we'll give a prediction tracker update for it.
Oh God, please don't.
Yeah, you, buddy. Holy shit! I am never going
about it
to you for any gambling advice, fucking ever in my life. I'd lose my house.
This is just one example. This is recency bias. I don't know what.
I don't appreciate it. I resent that.
I don't
statement.
deserve it. I don't appreciate
You are
it.
a goddamn liar.
You are lying to me.
Oh,
Cam,
man.
we should be in a rom-com. We would do great.
We put a ring on it, dude. We'll talk about it. Like, HiBruiNation, where we also
the
do
arguing would be
matchmaking.
amazing. The arguing would be awesome.
Oh,
all right,
God,
yeah. Big Bad Bruin.
So funny.
Cam,
the
you want
Big
to start
Bad
off?
Bruin, guys. I'm gonna start it off. I mean, for me, it's easy. We talked about him a lot.
Oh yes. Drum roll.
On. It is Morgan Geekie.
Dun, dun, dun.
By the way, but we skipped Big Bad Bruin last week because it was Big Bad Depresso. So
exactly, no one.
Nobody. All you bums suck. But this week there were some clear cut, candidates. Morgan Geekie for me was it. It's just the start of his season, the uncertainty of whether or not he could continue on, and build upon what he did last year. And he's showing us that he really can. He's got 9 goals, 2 assists, 11 points in 14 games, 64-point pace. He's still only 26, 27 years old, 52 goal pace. It's something you needed to see. You wanted to see out of him. I'm glad he's doing it. So for me, it's Morgan Geekie. That's really it. I don't think there's really much to say on him that we already did. Steve, who do you have?
Mr. 50 and 25 himself, Morgan
Mr.
Geekie.
Chavo, he has it.
I have him too.
He keeps saying it like 50 and 25, but he keeps saying it in 50 and 25, and people are going to be like, is he fucking mean like 50 goals in 25 games? Like,
that's what I thought.
Keep him on. Got to keep him on the toes, Steve.
Like, clarify myself enough, okay?
I've said it.
I've said it too many times, Mr. 50 and 25. Okay,
2025. Lay it down the line. Lay it down the line, Steve.
Morgan Geekie,
fuck you to all the haters.
For everything that Goose just mentioned. Okay, the fact of the matter is he's playing spectacularly, and he's going to keep it up. He's going to keep that.
I can't with them. I can't. Oh.
I'm with you, Steve. I'm with you with Geeks. Geek Squad, baby. Geeked up and perked up, buddy. All right, Mr. Hattrick himself. Mr. Hattrick himself. Who do you got?
So I'm always for the storyline as well. I get real emotional. I like the emotional sometimes. And Mr. Kostadinov, totally butchering his name right now. The way he has played is awesome. It looks to be coming into his own, and I don't think that first line is not going to be a sustainable position for him, but I think his play is super encouraging. He's being rewarded for it. He's being rewarded of the opportunity that Sturm is presenting him. So it's just something really cool to see and a cool storyline, and that came out from it. And some of his quotes from post game as well were really encouraging of a player who seems to be loving the moment. And so his OT winner as well was awesome. Really, really elusive move. And he is just taking advantage of this opportunity again by Sturm. It looks like he wants to make the most out of it, and it's awesome to see that coming out from the Bruins. So I am with Mr. Marat, as one would say.
I don't hate it. And I think we were talking about it, like, before we started the show, that I was driving with, my girlfriend, and I was just thinking, I'm like, Marat's another good pick. I'm like, Jack's going to pick him.
Mm-hmm.
Jack's
Yep.
picking him.
Yep. Listen, I mean, Geeky, he's going to be driving your play the entire season. And if you have guys, you can keep finding bright spots and, players that are, having a good story coming into their own, that's really good too. And that OT winner, I think you guys would say, was nasty. So more of that, please, would be awesome.
I love the pick, by the way. I love it. I mean, he was noticeable out there. He wasn't more noticeable than the guy I chose, but again, he was very noticeable out there, and I respect that pick.
Okay, Steve, fair enough. I see.
No, it's the truth, and you know what?
Then my pick.
I'm a part of the Geek Squad for life.
I am too. I have to say.
I'm with you, but that there's nothing but respect for that pick because it is a solid pick, and I actually love it.
Yeah,
I
appreciate it. It's just cool. It's just cool to see, and he was just so excited after, and he was like, I didn't think I'd be on, first goal of the Bruins, first line, all first for him, which he was loving. So,
He did. It was actually great to see his first goal of the season. He's played well, I think, when they slotted him in on the first line with Pasternak, and I think he does deserve.
It's a good energizer.
Credit.
It's good to show how someone like him can help drive that line. And again, I don't see. Long term, and again, maybe if the Bruins in a better spot, playoff position, I don't see him in that role per se, in a game one of a playoff, but, I could be someone in playoff, situations that, could benefit and actually could be, a benefactor and, and have success. So that's would be exciting.
A guy that clearly took the challenge of being slotted in that role and did well enough. So huge credits to him. So big credits. Wow. No, good job, guys. Good picks.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him more up on that first line as well. I think Sturm is going to give people chances, especially if they're already excelling in certain roles. I don't.
You can already see the coach that Sturm is. If he's going to reward you for good play and he's going to punish you for bad play, and you have to be able to take that. As funny as it is, that is the mark of a good coach, I think. So,
and I'm saying, I'm not expecting him to be on that first line every night.
Yeah, but
I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity for him to be slotted up there as well. Given, if someone needs a rest night or whatever it be, right? But I think there's plenty of opportunity for him to go back and kind of show what he's capable of on that first line as well throughout the whole season. And I think, that's a great point too, where
100%.
You're showing guys who are younger-ish but not more well-known Bruins, right? Giving them the opportunity to grow into roles and show that there is kind of a future on this team, right? And that's kind of what the important thing is, especially where you are right now. Is hey, we might not be the best right now, but we have a bright future ahead of us.
Totally, yeah, and I think that's a great way for the Bruins to move forward. And can help lead to some prior success.
Yep.
A good short-term solution for the long-term goal. That's the way I'll put it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm satisfied with it. All right, guys, let's get to the week look ahead, but let's do a prediction tracker update. Fuck you, Steve.
No, fuck you to the both of you. I'm rocking on 4-7 still, and I'm about to climb on up, baby. So that's what I want to say.
I don't know if it's just you're doing it with your heart or like your mind, but
I'm just getting a little unlucky. I think I don't know because some of my picks have been similar to you guys, not too far off, especially yours, Cam. So I think it's just the way the ball is rolling.
I think from now on, whenever Jack picks, I'm going with the opposite.
Yeah, and wait until actually I start picking right, and then you're gonna be sorry.
Hey, listen. Last year, when my other co-host, before he left for personal reasons, he was at bottom. He ended up winning the fucking thing. So it's based off percent, baby. Anything can happen.
Come on, man. I can get there.
We got some roads to climb. Steve, you're still in first place with 64.29%. I'm in second with 50. Suck it, Ricky Bobby. I'm in second with 57.14%, and Jack, Bobby. You got some work to do, buddy, at 36.36. So you got some roads to climb. You got some hills to climb there, pal. But it's early yet.
To climb.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Who the
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah. I'll
think
see you on the ice, buddy. I'll see you on the ice,
I'll
buddy.
see you on. Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna like wear like ankle weights or something like that. That way, I'm gonna be fucking impossible to move. So your fucking ass can get knocked down. We'll settle this on
What?
the ice.
Steve, did that make any sense to you? He's gonna slow himself down so he can knock me over.
No, so if you try,
Just let him
fuck
go
you.
with it. I mean, he's
Leave me
he's
alone, guys.
dedicated.
I've had a
He's
rough
not
day.
thinking
You guys are
straight,
bullies.
you know.
Okay, it's okay. It's
Just
great.
let him go with it.
Bullies.
It's fun. It's fun. Listen,
Bullies.
I'm gonna be working on my predictions, and we're gonna see an improvement, guys. I swear. Oh, you're.
Boom! Don't
my
fuck
blood
with
is
the guy
not
who has
boiling
the
right now.
soundboard.
My blood is totally not boiling. It's just so iconic, man. It's so good. It is literally so good.
I'm gonna get like 2 whacks in the next game that we play against each other. He's gonna be like, "Hey, remember when you freaking did the wah over me? Here's 2 slashes to your wrist, you schmuck." Like that's what he's gonna give me.
Well, if
Make sure it's the wrist that presses the buttons.
in the scenario where it's me, Nick, and Cam in the same room again, if we're just in the lobby, or next time we all see each other, like when Cam says something or he's gonna try and talk to Nick, I'm just gonna start going wah 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 wah. See what Nick's reaction is. Be like, "What is this guy saying?" Be like, "Don't worry, I'm just getting him back."
Oh God. All right. Well, hopefully your predictions are good this week, buddy, and hopefully they come true. Otherwise, we're all fucked.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Guys, this week we got 3 games. Nice, easy pace. Feels like normal hockey. We got the Islanders at the Islanders, the Senators at home, and then we got the Leafs, who are not doing great.
I can't wait to talk about them next week. That is going to be so fun.
Music
I can't wait to talk
seeing
about them next week. I can't wait to talk about them next week.
Bums. Fucking losers. By the way, go Blue Jays.
Yep. Another Game 7 collapse in Toronto.
I wouldn't even call it a collapse. I would just call it just so unfortunate. But anyway,
they're not collapse. But listen, they lose again, and the very unfortunate Game 7.
Listen, at least the Blue Jays could reach the final. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say on it.
Mm-hmm.
Suck it,
Leafs. They didn't get bounced after the first round years in a row.
How many years in a row? All right, Cam, what are your predictions?
So, Islanders, I got a win on the island. Senators, I got a win. They're gonna have a chip on their shoulder. They're gonna want to get off. So I have that as a win. And I think this is the game you might see Sway versus Ullmark, which I would love to see that just because I want to see a goalie hug. It still breaks my heart that I don't get to see it. And the Leafs, I have a win. I guess Chris Tanev is out right now or considered day-to-day. And
stretched out. He did get full-on stretched out, which was scary.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, I wish him all well. I mean, I hope he's well, but you know, the Leafs are just they're really missing Marner, and like I can't wait till we talk about it next week either because you want to talk about like it's easy to talk so well about Pastrnak. It's never hard for me to talk poorly about the Leafs. So I got 3 wins, 3-win sweep, baby. We're gonna be 10-7 by the end of next week.
Where are we going?
Let's go with Steve.
Me? Okay.
Me?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Well, you know, there's an old
Grow
saying.
the fuck up.
There's an old saying.
Whoa!
Fortune favors the bold, but I know what all your picks are, and if I want to keep secure a first place, I might just have to piggyback off of everyone else's just so I can keep my lead for another week. But for all reasons, I have 3 W's. I don't think the Islanders game is going to be a cakewalk. I don't think we're going to win 5-2 again. I think they're going to come out with a chip on their shoulder. Yep. And if we respond with physicality like we should and go out there and set the tone like we've been doing in the past couple games, I think we should win that one. Again, opposite of that is the Bruins have a chip on their shoulder against Ottawa because they just got pumped for 7-2. And if you're not pissed about that, you probably should get started. So come out flying, banging those bodies, and respect. You know what? Who doesn't want to score a couple goals on their old goalie? So there's that. And then I do have a dub against Toronto because fuck the Leafs. They're banged up and they're a joke of a squad now. Their whole team was
Missing
Marner,
Marner, man.
and they're missing him bad. And Matthews doesn't impress me. No, what you're rely on Brandon Carlo to be the defensive factor here? No, I'm sorry. 3 wins. Mark it, folks.
I think they'll depend on Morgan Riley, but that's fine. Yeah, I just don't have faith in the Leafs. I don't think they'll outpace the Bruins the way I think they have in previous years. I'm with you, Steve. Jack, go ahead.
Crazily enough, guys, this is probably the only time this would ever happen. I mean, I don't know. It might happen very few times, but we all have the same predictions. I'm also going to be going with 3 W's. I have a W against the Islanders. Yeah, I just don't think the Islanders are that great of a team. We don't have much to talk about still yet, but I think that could be probably a closer game, not as like a 5-2 as it was this past week against them, but that's going to be a decent win. Senators, gritty, tough win, piggybacking off what you guys have said. They're going to come with a chip on their shoulder against Ottawa as well. So I think that's going to be another greasy win. And the Leafs, joke. W. Easy. What are we talking about?
Cool. Guys, that's the first time we all agree. We get the horn. We got the horn. Here we go. Steve's doing it out of spite, I think, but it's okay. We got the horn. But that's the first time this season that the boys at HiBruiNation have finally agreed on something.
It's going to happen a few times.
So that's good. I wouldn't have it any other way. All right, guys. So we're gonna be we all agree 10-7 by the end of the week. 10-7. 10-7.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. It is gonna happen.
For the love of God, will it into existence? And if it doesn't happen, I can only imagine what's going to be said in our group chat offline, and we will translate that right to here. So it's good. But guys, final thoughts before we close out. Anyone, open mic.
Jack, go right ahead.
Oof, hand it right to me. Yeah, pretty much. No, I hope to see, more simpler but gritty play from the Bruins and what we saw in Carolina amplified. And if they can come out this week, 10-7, I'm going to feel a lot better about them. But, if we see some of the same stuff, it's going to be back to the same topics and same misery as we've seen at some times on this podcast. But I'm hoping the best for our boys and helping the best for Lindholm too. Hoping to speed recovery for him because that, we're going to be missing him as time goes on. That's what I got.
Steve, anything?
Yeah, hoping that we end the week with 10-7 and finally get above 500 hockey, like we should be. Slightly above 500. I think we should be probably, maybe a couple of games above 500 at this point. But I'm hoping that we finally get to that point this week. We need to get back to simple hockey, greasy goals, physical body play, and set the tone early. That's what I'm looking for.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. All right, guys. Well, I don't have any other final thoughts outside of this. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. And guys, obviously, thank you for joining me. That's going to do it for this week's episode. Go check out don'tbuckwithmedia.com for our blogs, game recaps, or anything, and much, much more. Some of our thought pieces that we have. Don't forget to connect with us on Twitter, Bluesky, TikTok, YouTube, and through don'tbuckwithmedia.com for your thoughts to be heard on our episodes by sending us a voice memo or even a direct message. We love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to comment or like and subscribe below. We actually do read those guys. So please, tell us that we're crazy. Tell us that, Jack sucks at predictions because he does. But that's okay. That is what it is.
Let the comments know that Cam can't take a one-timer. He can't take a one-timer. Whenever the puck comes this way, he just fuck you. You hear that? Fuck you and everything that you stand for. I can't wait to two-hand slash your wrists the next time I see you on the ice. You piece of shit. Let's end this. We're done. Call it.
And as always,
we're
guys,
done. We're done.
We love you.
Off of this shit.
Go
I'm done.
Bruins.